Does life really end once you have kids? Life does not end, it changes. It's like having a dog. Your life does not end, but you have a new responsibility that puts limits on what you do. But here is the deal: if you want to have kids, your life as a parent does not end when they become an adult. They stay in your life. They have kids and you become a grandparent. Your life as a parent ends when you die. If you have kids and grandkids, when you were 80 years old, you are much more likely to wish you had spent more years with your kids and your grandkids than that you wish you had spent more time doing almost anything else. Having kids earlier gives you more time with them and their kids in your life. So if you want them, it is better to have them earlier. If you don't want them, it is better not to have them at all. More like life ends as it was and a different life begins. If you end up having disabled children, it will change in ways you didn't even conceive were possible, but no matter what, things will change. It really depends on the combination of child, parents, resources and luck. If you get a calm and flexible child, you find parenting suits you easily, you have lots of money and family nearby to babysit, and no other big negatives happen, you will probably feel like lots of big, fun outings can still happen as a parent. But you don't know what kind of child you are gonna get, and if the child will be fussy, have special needs, or will be generally high maintenance. You don't know what hormones are going to do and how you are gonna react to parenting. And you don't know what kind of other negatives will weigh down your experience, and health. Pregnancy can be a bitch. So in general, it's best to do the less young child-friendly things before they are here. If that's not possible, you can roll the dice. It might be in your favor, it might not. The life you knew ends and the next one begins. You no longer own your time, you will be pushed and triggered immensely with the demands of children. Children are for life, not until 18 as many people think. More old school, especially as the world continues to change. There is no love like the love you feel for your kids. There is nothing on earth to compare. Ensure your marriage is incredibly strong. Kids place an almost breakable force on marriages. Go to therapy for prevention, not intervention. Often resentment is so high at that point. In this economy, each child will cost you around $250K, likely more, with kids having a harder time lunching with the state of the world. You do not own your children, they are their own people. So the life you want for them and think you will have will often not be that. It's a damn wild ride, that's for sure. Mom of 2 boys, lol. Life really ends when you die. Kids don't suddenly end things. It's a new chapter in your life. Yes. I do not have kid. I 18M do however have a mother 40F who traveled the world whilst having 2 kids, sometimes alone and sometimes with kids. My mother's life was definitely highly impacted as she had 2 kids in her early 20s. When my mother was in her 30s, she traveled the world and made a bunch of new friends and hobbies. My mother still really enjoys her life to this day and recently just had a 90s themed kids party for her 40th birthday. Although having kids did impact it, kids did not end it. Mine only really began with kids. TBH. Sleep ends once you have kids. It ends in the sense that your own needs are no longer the top priority. The needs of your child are. And no, permanently changes is more accurate. If you don't want things to change, you will feel an end to some things. And there will be things that you wish hadn't ended even if you were ready for the change. The biggest thing I noticed is that I am now permanently a mother. I can't ever just not consider or worry about my kids. My kids are both teens at home, so I don't know about later life. But when I asked my dad as a 45-year-old when I would quit worrying about my kids, he gave me the well-known answer: I don't know. I will let you know when it happens. I have heard that you get higher highs and lower lows. I am not a parent and not capable of weathering lower lows, so I am opting out. But I see insanely stressed parents with no free time despite making 6 figures, and I also know poor people with kids who say they have never felt joy like being with their kids. But also there are people who regret having kids as well. You won't really know if it's for you. You have to use your intuition and preferably be introspective and honest enough with yourself to make the right choice. Spend time with your friends who have kids and really talk to them. That's my best advice. Actually have a kid before he gets out of service, cause he'll get additional money for having a kid. Just FYI, he'll get an additional check to support each kid. I wish I had one when that happened, something I didn't know until I was officially out, but you need to have it before he leaves service. The kids has to exist born by the time he exits service. I wouldn't say your life ends, but it does become much harder in a myriad of ways. Yes, it really does. Everything you liked about your pre-kid life, gone. You become a slave to your kids and their endless needs. It's something that no one tells you and is almost taboo to mention. I wish someone had been honest about parenthood with me before I had kids. I'm recently divorced with 3 kids, and they are the brightest spot in my life right now. Regular, random events change. The other night I spontaneously wanted to take the wife for a movie date. But then I remembered we couldn't just spontaneously do things on our own anymore, because we have an 18-month-old. Things change and that's okay. Nothing ends. Yes, it does, and I'm sure parents will tell you the kids are their whole world. Just consider what you're giving up when you have them, especially as a woman. Your body will never be the same. Definitely not. Much different, but no more or less alive or dead. Just different. Life changes, but does not end when you have kids. Life ends when the friends that have no idea how to balance life have kids.